Before we get into today's video, I would like to promote my new Patreon page. As a patron, you get access to exclusive player breakdowns and mentioned at the end of each YouTube video. I would also like to highlight the Fantasy Snapshot bundle with video breakdowns of 100 players. Get your access code for $15.99 and receive that edge you've been looking for in fantasy. Head over to cstfantasy.com/fantasy snapshot to learn more. All links can be found below. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Hello fantasy faithfuls, and welcome to Juju Smith-Schuster's Fantasy Snapshot. In 2019, Smith-Schuster will be facing a group of teams that last year gave up 347.7 fantasy points to receivers, 6th least in NFL, with 12.5 yards per reception and 16 touchdowns on average. Breaking down his receiving, his target trends shows that he's very much reliant on short passes, but not outside the numbers. He leads the league in targets over the middle, together with Keenan Allen. It's a massive number to have 29% of your targets go to the short middle. With his targeting in mind, let's focus on the short middle. He catches 71% of all his targets in that zone, a great number. If he'd been below 60%, I would have been really scared. Otherwise, his catch rates are not amazing, but not bad enough to scare me away completely. He might not catch the ball too much in the deepest zones, but when it does, he is very dangerous. In the shorter zones, however, he needs volume, and with AB gone, that might be the case. The opponent that fits his strengths the best is the Arizona Cardinals. They allowed way too many catches in the short zones last year, so be sure to start him in DFS for that game. Smith-Schuster's one-game floor is 4.6 points and ceiling 17.5. This ranks as the 10th highest floor and 11th highest ceiling for receivers. Great number for a guy that has been a second receiver on his team. The likeliness of him scoring above the ceiling and booming is good at 3.3%, while his bust risk below the floor is low at 1.5. I'm very impressed with these numbers so far, even though the receiving patterns weren't too exciting. His touchdown rate last year was 4.2, ranking 41st in the league. This is a little low for a tough draft pick. He needs to raise this in 2019 to take the next step. Based on my market share study, I have him predicted for 145 targets and 115 receptions in 2019. That makes him a number one target in Pittsburgh. Smith-Schuster had very high highs and very low lows, which is not uncommon for wide receivers. He should have been started 7 weeks out of 15, which I expect to go up as he's transitioning into a wide receiver in one. I would like to take a second to remind you to hit that like button, leave a comment what you think about this video, and subscribe to the channel. I love every interaction I have with y'all, and every little bit helps me put out even more content. The situation breakdown for Smith-Schuster shows that he scores way less points at home than he does away, which is concerning for the seasonal scoring, but great for projecting DFS plays. He scores more points against teams that struggle in the air, and even more against teams with losing record. 100% start him on the road against a bad defense with a below 500 record. Smith-Schuster saw 29 red zone targets in 2018, and with those targets, he scored 5 touchdowns, which is one of the lowest success rates in the league. This is a major concern of mine. He got plenty of red zone targets, but he struggled to make them count. The average risk of Smith-Schuster not scoring above 10 fantasy points in 2018 was 38.9, which is 13th lowest in the league out of any receiver. This is not a huge concern as he's still around the same range as other guys that scored roughly the same amount of points. Based on his current ADP of 16th overall and all the numbers I've laid out in this video, I give him a draft grade of B-. I think the price is too high for the uncertainty with this player. He's been very good as a number 2, but without AB demanding attention, he might struggle a little bit, but thanks to all his targets, I still like him enough to draft him. Hello fantasy faithful, I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to check out more of them right here and here. In case you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat.